noisy. How is everybody today? I know you're doing fantastic. Thanks a lot, Terry. We're very excited about what's going on in Zango's world right now. Got a lot of stuff for today's call, lots of announcements and news. And yes, we're going to be releasing, I think for the first time live, the ingredients in Glimpse and making those available to all of you after the call. So I'd like to welcome you all to the call today. Danielle, are you on yet? She's in a meeting, so perhaps her clock is running at a different time zone. So we'll just go ahead and get the ball rolling here. Yes, this is Art and Terry. Just excited to be involved in Zango. 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago, we were like maxed out on credit cards. There were so many of them that I didn't even want to know what the total was. I didn't want to add them up. And gosh, we had very little income. The company we were with, one day we woke up and nobody was answering the phones, and as one door closed, another door opened. And we heard about this incredible company called Zango, already doing $3 million a month. And 5 years later, our life has completely changed, and not just the fact that we have paid off all of our credit cards and bought a couple of cars and renovated our house. And finally, and since 14 years old, yes, we have no debt, not one single drop of debt. We're very excited about that. But, beyond all of those financial things, we're just having a lot of fun. We like to make a contribution. We want to help other people. And what a wonderful vehicle we've got here with incredible company, great product that we have to work with. Terry, I mean, it has been some kind of fun ride, and we're just having the time of our life, aren't we?
Oh, we really are. I mean, there's nothing quite more magnificent than working out of your home, and when it's cold out or snowy or rainy, you don't have to go anywhere, and all you've got is your phone and computer and fax machine, and away we go. It truly has been a gift that Zango has given us to help change our life, but we had to work hard for this. I mean, you just don't sit and rest on your laurels. You have to want to make sure that you sponsor every month. That is the key, is getting new people in.
We're sitting at a time here when there's a lot of economic problems, and I know that it's disconcerting for a lot of you, but I can tell you what, you have a chance to do something about it. And you can't rely on your job right now. People are, I just talked to another person whose job disappeared. You can't rely on the government to bail you out financially, can you? I mean, they haven't figured it out yet. They don't know what to do. Wall Street, I don't think anybody's trusting these guys. And bankers, well, I mean, they've done the best that they could. And so the only person you can rely on is yourself. And if you want to change your economic situation, you have within you the power to do that. And I'm telling you, the hardest thing of all is finding the right vehicle, the right product at the right time. And so we have an incredible track record already. I mean, listen, guys, this is your other solution. You can do that, or you can do that. And I think this is a lot better. In fact, that's about what I look like today. That's what I look like when I'm working. I apologize. I have the same colored shirt on. I don't know that it's exactly the same one, but to me, this is a better lifestyle. So, yes, we've just completed wave one, what I would call $1 billion with a single product, the fastest company to hit $1 billion with a single product in the history of our industry. And if that's not enough, we're getting ready for phase two. And Terry, we had an incredible week this week. For those of you listening, they were closing off the VIP orders. Yes, VIP orders for Glimpse shipped yesterday, and it was a mad scramble to make sure all the orders got in. We have seen incredible growth in certain people's organizations. Wasn't it some kind of a week? We've had the fax machines rolling here. What happened, Terry, to cause this sudden momentum?
Basically on the last Monday morning, Art and I have this little powwow meeting. It's sometimes just a 5-minute meeting, but it's a call to action. It's like, okay, what is this week? What are we going to do to help our people this week? And, I said to him, I think I'm now. The week before, remember, I phoned all the 20Ks. This week I phoned all the 5Ks, because now we want all of the smaller orders or bigger orders, whatever it was in. But I phoned all the 5Ks, and we got the fax machines running again all week. And it was amazing. If you would just ask for something for your people, for your leaders, ask them to do something. And so that was what we did this week. And that fax machine, Art, just kept rolling. I actually had to shut the door at night because, of course, we've got the the people on the East Coast that will be faxing me like at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. And I was just amazed at how many faxes and how many of our leaders they are that actually took this project on.
Yes.
And then I'll tell you what, their volume really showed it.
Well, I have to hand this to Terry. This is really her idea. She said, people are sitting on the fence here. We got to get people off of the fence. Let's start taking orders ourselves. Let's not wait for them to call the company. Gosh, I just realized how lazy we have become. This is about creating a business. We're business people. You guys are running your own business. If you don't get out there and do something, nothing's going to happen. So here's what happened here. We had a strong handful of people that really saw the vision of this. And they had to have vision, didn't they? Because a lot of them had never even seen the product. Some of them had tried small samples. And so if you got to have vision in order to get excited about something that you haven't personally experienced, right? But they heard the stories, and they heard Beverly and Hollister, and they know the mangosteen fruit. And we've seen incredible growth. We have a 20K whose business is almost doubled this month already, and there's still a week left. We have a Premier whose business is up over 26% over last month already this month, and there's still a week left. And we've had many other people increasing their volumes as Glimpse orders come pouring in. And then we've got a bunch of people sitting on the fence waiting. Waiting for what, might I ask? If other people can create huge growths in their business, why can't you? Well, I'll tell you what, it comes down to sitting on the fence and making a decision to get off the fence, and we're going to talk to you about some of the things, and actually we're going to give you a powerful action step that you can do today when you get off this phone to get your business turned on. And so this has been a lot of fun. Terry, anything else you want to add before we jump into our first guest here?
No, it's just been incredible to watch our leaders really take this action and know that the power, yes, was in the juice and still is and always will be. We will always have that as our leadership product. But with this Glimpse, I know a lot of you haven't tried it, but you got to trust Zangos. They've got something so powerful here that you won't believe it when you do put it on your face. So thanks to all of our great leaders for the job they did this week, and we've got another week to go.
Yeah, just before we bring our guest on, I've got this LA Times article. A lot of you have seen it that came out this week. They're talking about luxury skincare products defy the economy. Talk about being in the right place at the right time with the right product. And it goes on to say here in the article, it goes on to say that the upscale skincare market has yet to feel the ravages of the recession. The overall skincare category is up 2% for the first half of this year over 2007. And sales, look at this, of super premium products priced at more than $150 have climbed 21%. And I love this comment here. When you're spending almost $100 to fill up your tank of glass, you can justify spending $70 on your face cream. So we are in a situation here where we have a product that will defy the economy. And in fact, with the kind of compensation plan that we have attached to this phenomenal product, you're going to see people creating incredible incomes while the rest of the country is suffering. So let's see if Danielle made it on. Are you there, Daniela?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all right, Danielle. It's so great. You're the one that hosts the Three Visions call on Tuesday night. You have such enthusiasm. And I just wanted to get you on here one day to share a little bit of your story and your excitement. But for those of you who don't know, Daniela is like one of the Mertens, So she grew up in this crazy family and actually was like the first employee. Am I right?
I was right there. There was about 11 of us right at the start. So yeah, one of the first employees.
So what's it been like? Growing up with the Mortons and then getting involved as an employee. Now you're a Premier. What's it been like for you?
Well, I have to just start off by saying, what is the action step? I cannot wait to hear what it is. The action step you guys are talking about, you guys are amazing. You are the real deal. And I have to tell you, growing up in this industry, it was people like you and Terry that were my heroes. Dwayne Dyer, I've known him since I was 8. And so just to give people a little bit of background, two of my brothers are the founders of Zango. I am a Premier. And I wasn't always like this. I grew up, and for the first 11 years of my life, it was wonderful. My dad was the president and founder of the Canadian division of Nature Sunshine Products, a good good company, and I loved it. I got to go to Mexico, like I said, met Dwayne at 8 years old, and then they decided to change founders. Can you imagine, Art and Terry, can you imagine if all the boys were like, all right, we're out, new founders? Like, and guess what? You know, a lot of those managers and presidents around the world lost their jobs, and my dad was the last to go, and then I spent my teenage years where my dad became the number one selling distributor for another distributing company, Enrich International, and we were doing great. I remember we had $11,000 a month check, and then the very next month they changed the comp plan, and so what happened? My dad's check went to $4,000 a month, which is, you know, still pretty good, but he had a few kids in college, and that's expensive, and you really, the most important thing is that causes instability. You get egg on your face. It's embarrassing. So he built it once again. Oh my gosh, worked his guts out. Ended up going through a number of different companies, and it just was an unstable industry. Network marketing was unstable. They would bring a product to market in Canada. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Art and Terry, but they would bring a product to Canada, we would build the business on it, and then they would have to take it off the market because they didn't go through the right channels.
Yeah,
and
all that stuff.
Have you had that happen? It was just, you know, and so by the time I was at the age of deciding what my career would be, I just decided, all right, you know what? I don't have a dream of starting a network marketing company. I don't have a dream of bringing the next big botanical to market. I'm going to be going through the regular route of university, college. That's what I'm going to do. And at 22 years old, I was a caterer and going to college, and I got a call from my brother Joe. And I'm telling you, folks, this is the difference, all right? There is going to be the flavor of the month that comes out. No matter, you know, where you're going to be, there's going to be a new flavor of the month network marketing company with the new best product. And, you know, they're all going to compare themselves to Zango. But at the end of the day, who are you going to build your family's income on? Who are you going to build that residual that could be a legacy that you pass on to your kids and grandkids? I'm going to pick a company with people like Art and Terry that know what they're doing, that are making it work. I saw. So for the first 3 years of Zango, I was on the corporate end as an elite services representative, which is essentially a liaison or an assistant to people like Art and Terry, to Eric Welch, to Chris Peterson, to Anton Garrity. And I saw it. I saw that those distributors who are consistent, who are honest, make incredible incomes. And you know what? That was it. So when I found out that I was expecting my first child, I said, I'm joining the light side. I'm going to...
Yeah, you're getting on the right side as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, my gosh. And it's been amazing. The first year I didn't know what I was doing, and I was scared. And, you know, my brother Joe has that quote that I love, and it's actually Mark Twain's quote. It says, do the thing you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. I just said that over and over. Do the thing I fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. And now it's amazing. Like, if we just keep our heads together, Art, I mean, we're going to be friends.
So you're telling me that you had to go through a lot of fear to become a Zango distributor. That's interesting.
You would think, right, that it'd be like a no-brainer, but
yeah, I mean, let's face it, you got your brothers as part of the founders. You should have a high level of belief, right?
Yeah, okay, I'm sponsored to my dad, 100K Premier. I've got two brothers who are the founders, and you know what? That first year I'm trying to think of a better word, but I kind of sucked, to be honest. I had to learn the skills like everyone else, and I mean, I'm still learning. Like just now, I'm like, what's the next action step, Terry? I can't wait to hear what you're going to teach. And
well, I got a great shot up here that you sent over. I love this picture with Joe next to you there and Gordon. And like, there's an extra face in here, but I'm not sure which one it is. I know there's another brother, right?
Yes, it's my
other brother in Canada.
Huh? Michael's actually a distributor in our team, and he's starting to get Zach involved in Zango.
Which one is Michael?
He's the other Morton that people don't know about, but he's also successful.
Okay, I know you're not on the computer, Daniela, but next to Gordon on his left is somebody in the green shirt. I think that might be Michael and David at the end. They look a lot alike.
They do. They absolutely do.
Same glasses and everything, man.
I think Dr. Johnson's or Aaron Garrity. Someone's poking in. That's the Zango suite. We all.
Oh yeah, Aaron's in the back, but the lighting isn't very good, so you can just barely see his teeth.
Oh boy! Okay, so Art, I say, like you just, I echo everything you said. You know, I know there's a lot of unfortunate situations happening in the country right now, and I'm just, thank God for Zango, thank God for you guys, because I look around and everyone I love in my life has never been doing better.
Well, just, you know, before I jump on, I want you to talk a little bit about Beverly in a second here, because I know you've known her for a long time. But so, kind of give us your snapshot of the last 6 years. I mean, what's it been like to watch, your brothers and, of course, your dad's involved, to watch them doing what they do and see them grow this incredible company to $1 billion? What's that been like?
You know, Art, seeing the people I love the most get kicked around in this industry, and just seeing that they believed in it, they knew the vehicle and how it can bless people's life, and just sticking to correct principles, keeping your nose clean, being honest, working hard, loving people, and remembering how small we are and how, that really we're nothing without each other. And I just think I'm so thankful that my dad, through all those years when network marketing was kicking him around, I never heard him complain. Isn't that sound strange? But he really didn't complain. He just believed. And I feel like, I see where this went from, where we had 11 employees in a very small building, but everyone believed, all those distributors who came in at the beginning, who were crazy enough to believe that this could be something great, and saw that this was a valid opportunity, that this product does have science. And I've seen where it's grown. And the people who, took the shortcut with their businesses, or the people that let the money and the power go to their head, I've seen them kind of just step aside, and really those true leaders that, really built relationships of love with their group and really have grown together. They're ending up on top, really. And so just over the last 6 years, I just feel like if we can just keep our heads together, especially with these new buildings. I'm in the new building. You were here last month, Art. I'm standing in it right now. We're doing a meeting here. I just think if we can just keep our heads together, have an awesome convention in a couple weeks, man, this is just, it's overwhelming. And just to mention Beverly, I've known her.
I've got a picture up of Beverly here. And, phenomenal lady, an incredible, meticulous, brilliant marketer. I have not ever worked with a marketer that even stands close to Beverly Hollister. It's been such a thrill for Terry and I to work with her, and some days, a little bit closely together, helping with the launch of Glimpse. How long have you known her?
I've known her since I was 14 years old. That company I mentioned, Enrich International, she had a skincare line. So I started using her products at 14. And my friends used to love it when they'd come to my house. I mean, can you imagine? Like, how awesome is that? They'd all use my skincare that Beverly developed. And as good as that product was, this new Glimpse is 10 times. I mean, look at her. She lives it. She looks amazing. And so I've just always looked up to her, and I'm so excited to have the chance to work with her again with Zango, and now actually be selling the product, coming full circle, selling the product that I used as a child, and using it on my children. Oh, it feels so good. Don't you feel good, Art, knowing that you're putting the best, and they're getting those xanthones through their skin now in the morning, the bath? Amazing. So,
Daniela, this is Terry. I just wanted to say to you, we've watched you over the years, and I just so admire you, because you did have to step up and step out and go through your fears and go through your blocks, because you knew that you wanted to raise your children at home. And we just so admire you in doing that. But what you're really saying is you just have to hold your focus.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
That's it. I mean, we know the company's great. We know we've got great founders. We know we've got great backing of people like Beverly Hollister helping us, and with Glimpse on the way. I mean, if you just hold your focus and pick up that phone and care enough about people, you're going to get your dreams.
Oh, yes.
Thanks a lot, Daniela. I really appreciate you coming on. You do such a great job. You've had some great interviews with Karen Morton on the Three Visions call. We always have the same phone number, 6:00 p.m. Tuesday. And Chris Peterson, I believe, on Tuesday has Dr. Templeman coming on your call. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Our call, absolutely.
Our call, yeah.
Thanks so so much.
Okay, thanks a lot, Daniela. We'll let you get back to your meeting there.
No, have a great day, and I just thank you so much. I learn every time I hear you guys speak. I learn something new.
Okay. Talk to you later. Thanks, then.
Bye-bye.
All right. Wow, great lady perspective. Listen, thinking what it was like growing up with those Morton boys, and she never talked about all of the granola stuff she had to eat. I'm sure she was in this same boat. So now we'd like to bring on our good friends Yvonne and Eva Marie Sarda, 100 Ks from Kashmir, Washington. And we honor them so much because they came to our very first Zango meeting in August of 2003. They drove several hours to meet Joe Morton. It was our very first meeting. We were 1Ks, and they were like preferred reps. Yvonne and Eva Marie, lots has happened since then.
Good morning,
sure
everyone.
Good morning.
How are you today?
We're great. How are you? Good.
Well, wasn't that a fun? We sat down with Joe Morton, Daniela's brother, there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we knew right away, we were in with an incredible group of founders, and now we've got this incredible new product that we're coming out with.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was that meeting that really sold us. That and several trips to PubMed.com to do research on the product, and spending an hour and a half or 2 hours with Joe was a real eye-opener. He demonstrated that he really had a grip on the industry, on the product, on business in general, and more important than that, he demonstrated that he's a really caring, decent human being.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're going to talk about some marketing ideas for Glimpse, but first of all, Eva, I know you, as a 100K, were lucky enough to get a few of the samples and actually have been glimpsing yourself for a while. What's your experience so far?
Oh, yes. We were so fortunate. We were so excited to get this product. And I want to say this is really kind of funny, because Yvonne, who's, the macho man, right? Okay?
Yeah.
The one who doesn't put anything on his skin. I was in the bathroom. He said, do you have any toner left in the serum? I need number 2 and number 3. He said, on my skin. I said, oh, if only your children heard you now. This is just hilarious because they were given to us a complete set, with the cleanser and the toner and the serum and also the moisturizer lotion and the moisturizer gel so that for combination skin. And we absolutely love. No, I was going to experiment putting half my face with Glimpse and the other half not, but we decided that would be a little too complicated. So I decided to use one hand. I actually did the whole regime on my left hand and left my right hand without anything, just normal soap and water. And
this is a good idea. I do this, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I was amazed. We've been on this for now 2 weeks, and we can see the difference in my hand. On my left hand, it is much lighter, much smoother looking. And my right hand, it looks like I have some kind of a film on it. It's kind of weird. I've never noticed that before. And the other hand doesn't have that anymore. It is, and that's after 2 weeks. Now, when we put, for instance, when I did my face the first time, putting the serum on, all of a sudden it was like my face was activated. It kind of flushed. You knew that something was happening. It was really unbelievable. I said, oh, my gosh, this is working. And I ran into the kitchen, and here I got 2 cheeks, 2 rosy cheeks. And of course, that goes away. But it really has helped my skin already. I know that Yvonne has noticed a difference. I'm very careful when I put it on. I make sure I put the cleanser on. I leave it on, like Terry mentioned, for, I have the luxury of not having to go to work, so I can leave it on for 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes I almost forgot that I put the cleanser on, and make sure I really wash my face very carefully with washcloth so I get everything off and really clean my skin. And then I put the toner on and leave it for a while, and the serum and the moisturizer. And I just love it. I absolutely love it. Now, babe, you notice a difference in my face, right?
Significantly. And the real difference is noticeable in your hands because there's something to compare it with.
Exactly.
As far as your face goes, all I can compare it with is what I remember from 2 weeks ago.
And you have a good memory.
Yes, he does.
but the really striking comparison are the 2 hands. It's almost unbelievable. They look like they belong to 2 different people.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we say that the bioactive X3, you know, the bio means life and the active is energy, and the X3 are the three sandtone complexes.
Right.
And each one plays its own little role, like the pericarb oil and the polymeric complex and acidic complex. Each one really works on the skin, and it brings the nutrition, it brings those sandtones into the cellular level. This is huge.
Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal thing, and I can hardly wait for like I said, the VIP orders have started shipping. People are going to start getting their products in mass starting next week. So let's talk about the marketing. I want to focus in on that. Some of the things, Yvonne, we talked earlier about some of the things that you've been doing to get your Glimpse business going. Why don't we go through that, and then we're going to show this little email and that approach that you used with somebody.
Okay, well, we use a multi-pronged approach, and we thought right off the bat that we have a built-in market in the form of our entire organization, some of whom are no longer active. So we started making contact with people, first 1Ks and up, and then people who are active but less than 1K, you know, the preferred reps. And now we're starting to get into people who are not active. We sent out a general letter, very short, very sweet, to the point. We don't like long emails. And it's amazing the number of people that are coming out of the woodwork. And I'd just like to comment on last week when you did that call to action. We decided that inspired us to do our own call to action. We did a phone blitz, and in 3 hours we booked $6,000 in orders.
Right. Just by picking up the phone. Mm-hmm.
Just by picking up the phone, and all with existing distributors.
Yeah. Now you're also starting to work out into what you call your old warm market. You know, talking to people that you have. What we mean by old, we don't mean their age, but people you've already approached before.
Exactly, and that seems to be working because you know the thing that we tell everybody in our organization, and the interesting thing about this is that historically what we've been doing, what everybody in Zango has been doing, we've been doing missionary work, out telling the world about this exotic, weird juice that comes from a strange tree in Thailand, and a lot of people don't really get that message, but almost everybody uses skincare in one form or another. So now our task is no longer to do the missionary work. It's just to convert people from the stuff that they're using to Glimpse, and to that end, we have a large list of people to whom we made the Zango presentation some of them years ago.
Right.
And we're just going back to them and making the Glimpse presentation, and that one specific person that you're talking about, for example, is a lady that I worked with years and years ago. When we first got started in Zango, she was one of our first targets. We provided her, in those days we used to provide bottles as samples. We provided a couple of bottles of juice. She liked the taste and thought it was interesting, but no thank you. But I made a call last week, and she is concerned with skincare. She uses a very, very expensive skincare line that ranks 7s to 10s on the cosmetic database. So we just forwarded her the email or the link to that database, and we have an appointment to call her next week.
Yeah, and basically I've got that email up here. Nice, short, and sweet. Great talking with you today. It's been a long, long time. Here's to the website. See, email is very, very good at follow-up. That's where it's good. It's not good at leading the conversations. And so those of you that have just sat down at your computer and sent out an email without talking to anybody, to 15 or 20 of your friends, and none of them have responded back, that's not how you do it. And please, I've even tried doing some of this, and it reminds me of how simply ineffective it is to bring a new idea into somebody's realm. Once you've talked to them, then it's a totally different story. And now Yvonne is following up, and he's even got his little story in here. I'm thinking about giving up shaving, even though the stuff I use scores a 3, actually. So he's starting to give his own story. So I would recommend that if you're going to send an email out, that you add some sort of a story to this. And he's got, this is the cosmetic database. This is his Zango email. And he's also got glimpseinvitation.com. That is last Saturday's webinar with Melody Johnson, 100K. And so short, sweet, and now, so that's your basic approach here. And I want people to have a look at this to see, as a follow-up, what kind of thing you can do.
And by the way, I think the critical thing about these follow-up letters is to keep them short. I have a theory that if people see a letter where they can't see the bottom of it, they won't read it. You got to remember that these days people are being inundated on their emails with many of them are stuff they don't want. But so if you can get them to open it, if they open it and they can't see the bottom, they say, oh, I don't know if this goes on for 1 page or 3 pages or 20 pages. I'm not going to read it. So if they open it up, they can see the whole thing in front of them. It's just a couple of sentences. They will take the time to read it. And this one is a little longer than our usual letter because the person to whom I was addressing it is very heavily involved with charitable work. She's on the board of directors of the American Cancer Society, and so I included one little line that says our website. I had talked to her about the charitable work of the company, and I included our website for her to look at the Zango Goodness.
Yeah, so what you're saying here is be sensitive to what the hot buttons or the levels of interest of the people that you're sending an email to. So Yvonne has identified that you would be interested in this kind of thing, and so, you always are providing the information that is appropriate for that individual. And, of course, my favorite, follow-up, and what I would suggest doing, if you haven't, maybe you've already done this, Yvonne, and I suggest to everybody, is after that email goes out, either right away, like either, right after that email or the following day, or as a follow-up, is to send out a copy of Grace Dix. This thing is so powerful, so easy to email this out to people, and it's got her story on here. It's got her before and after pictures. This is not showing up too good on the screen. It's a little distorted, but that is another powerful follow-up. And as I've been working with a new builder this last week, that is going out to every single person, but not before you've talked to them, after you've talked to them.
Exactly, and there's another before and after set of pictures that's available of the little 7-year-old boy who has eczema on his arms and legs. That is a really powerful before and after photo.
The other thing we were talking about, Yvonne, of course, and Eva, is that, this is that database that we're using that is very, very powerful. There's a couple different ways of getting to it, safecosmetics.org or cosmeticdatabase.com. And so what you did with this lady, for instance, is you researched her product on here and saw that it was toxic.
That's right. And it's a very expensive product, a very expensive, very toxic product.
And amazing enough, I think that this is something that was recommended by her doctor. That's very compelling, actually, that database, because you can look up all the products. You can just ask them what cosmetic product they use and go on to that database and see the toxicity level of some of these products. It is huge. And, of course, the skin is the largest organ in your body, and everything gets absorbed into the cellular level, and it affects your liver and your kidneys. I had no idea, actually. I'm just learning at my age of 62 of all the toxins that are in the cosmetic, in the personal care, and what we actually are absorbing. That is affecting everyone, and including baby oil. I had no idea that baby oil and baby talcum is also toxic. So this Glimpse product, I think, can be used by the whole family.
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. And I put up this document, and I'm going to show you where to get these documents here at the end of the call. but somebody put this together, and it shows a lot of the major brands here, shows the ingredients that they have in them, shows the ones that have concerns in red here, and shows a glimpse over here, you know. And wait till you see what they've done on the ingredients. I'm going to show that pretty soon here. So, you know, we really have such a phenomenal story to tell here. What's in it? You know, with the xanthone complexes, what's not in it? Toxic chemicals. Anything else you wanted to add, guys, to this before we jump into the rest of the call?
Yeah, just one thing. We don't dwell too much when we talk to people in during the first contact. We don't dwell too much on the negative aspects of the stuff they're using. We just send them a link to Cosmetic Database and let them find out for themselves, because that way we're not the bringer of bad news. We are concerned friends who are sending them to a place where they can get the bad news.
Yeah, I was just going to say, too, is that through X1 Tools, I don't know if you're going to mention this, Art, I'm sure you are, there's beautiful new glimpse intuitive skincare brochures. And along with that, so we ordered that. Along with that, it's a startling truth, the unregulated cosmetic industry brochure. I think it's really good to put that one along with it, because that really tells the story and gives some startling truths about how chemicals actually affect so many parts of your body, including tumors, mutations, and many, many different complications. One of the things I should make note of, too, and is the fact that I can put the cleanser all over my skin and over my eyes. This does not burn your eyes. The serum or the toner and the cream all can be on your eyes, and this is huge because
you can use it to remove your eye makeup, right? That's what my daughter is talking about.
Absolutely. So therefore, you don't need any eye cream. It's phenomenal. And I can remember having a cosmetic lines before, and if I get it very close to my eyes, it starts to burn. You know,
I used to have the same problem.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. 100K premieres, you know, instead of kicking around in Arizona in a trailer on a fixed income worrying about the prices of gas, here you're creating this phenomenal business.
Never. Thank you, Art.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I've got another document up. Thanks, Yvonne and Eva Marie. I've got another document up here that you may have seen a version of before. Somebody's done a nice job of cleaning that up, of showing the price comparison. And as Eva was talking about, a lot of these other companies, you know, need special eye creams and stuff. We don't need any other products here. Just these 4 products or the 6 complete, if that's the way you go, does the whole job. And so, you know, find your favorite bullet points. You know, this is the thing that I like to do, you know, but there's nothing more powerful than stories. I can tell you that you've got to learn to tell stories. And it doesn't have to be your own story. We've got the story of Grace Dick. You've got Art and Terry's story. You know, you've got to learn how to tell stories. And as I was doing some work with a new builder last week, and we were doing 3-way calls, and we were getting that synergy working together as a team, and he kept saying to me, Art, tell him about Terry's nettle sting. Art, tell him about your experience. Tell him about this. Tell him about that, right? And what I was doing is we talked to 3-4 people in a row on the phone, one after the other. I was telling the same stories over and over again, and about Terry's experience with you know, not being able to use cosmetics before Grace Dix, and we were then talking about Beverly Hollister, and we talked about the LA Times article as well. This is a recession-proof business. So, you know, you have to find some bullet points to create people's interests. You know, the average woman, you can use the 168 chemicals. Sometimes that's a turn-off. I can tell you, I told Yvonne I had a lady that just didn't want to hear about that. But then again, who cares, right? It's not about her. It's about just getting the story out. So find some of your own bullet points. And there's lots of ways to actually marketing Glimpse. And I've been learning, and you know, Terry, I know you like to talk about this. This is evolving. This is changing. We're learning more about it. But I wanted you to start thinking about all the different ways that you can market Glimpse, because there's not one way in my view. My view is like whatever floats your boat marketing, which means that you have to find your own niche in this, okay, from all the different ways there are of doing it. You know, you can be having what's called a Glimpse gathering. And to me, the Glimpse gathering would look a lot like what our juice parties used to look like. In other words, when the DVD's out, you know, you'll have some people over, you'll be the host, you'll show a DVD, and then you'll sample the product and people will put it on their face, okay? And then you'll go into some of the marketing and the business for those that are interested. Glimpse Gathering. Some people are talking about what's called a skin nutrition class, where you would just have people over to learn about nutrition for your skin and to try the product. And it's really sort of a retail-driven try the product out thing. You got one-on-one demos, and I was talking to Andy Willoughby, the wonderful 200K that runs the Promise Co-op, and he was saying, he had his glimpse with him. He went golfing with an old buddy who really had no interest in the juice, but he brought his glimpse with him, and so when they were cleaning up after, and showering, he said, hey, why don't you try this stuff? And the guy put it on, all 4 steps, while cleaning up after golf, and the guy says, wow, when this is out, I want some. Boom! Just like that. So one-on-one demos, you want to carry your glimpse with you wherever you go, but of course, sampling all 4 products. Terry, anything you wanted to add in here at this point?
I think we just have to recognize that, we're in pre-launch with Glimpse, and a lot of you don't have the product. But that doesn't mean you can't talk about it. That doesn't mean you can't share the stories, because this is evolving. It changes weekly. We found each week, Monday morning, when we start our day on that Monday morning, that week will be a brand new week. And you know what? This next Monday morning is going to be another brand new week. And so things are changing and evolving so quickly, but think once you do get the product in your hands, it's going to change again.
Exactly. It's going to change into a whole different dynamic. And one of the things that I'm thinking about, of course, is that if you can get together with people face-to-face, that is no question the fantastic way to share it. It's always wonderful. What if you can't, though? What if it's not convenient? What if the person is in Kentucky and you're in Washington? What if you're out in the middle of the wilderness like Terry and I are and don't get out of the house that much? I see these sample strips, which are really a sample of all 4 products, together with a brochure. Or if you've actually had a very good conversation, maybe throwing in a DVD with that. But don't be thinking about, please, and we'll talk about this more after convention, but don't be thinking about using these sample strips. And you VIPs that are getting some of these with your orders, don't be using these like business cards. Don't be passing these out to people that haven't showed a high level of interest, I'm telling you, you can waste a lot of money handing something out to somebody that you don't have them interested. So my view is that if you get into a conversation with somebody and they're very interested, maybe they've gone to your website, maybe you've had a conversation with them, and you say to them, listen, I've got one of these samples here. I can mail it out to you if on a couple of different conditions, if that's okay. Would you like to get a sample? And they say yes. Okay, here's what I'm willing to do. Listen, I'm willing to send this sample to you and a brochure, and if you've got the DVDs when you do after convention, and this DVD on one condition, that within 24 hours you'll watch the DVD, or within 24 hours you'll try the product, and then we can get on the phone and talk to you, because I don't want to waste time with you if you're not really interested. So in other words, you really want to pre-qualify them and set them up for this sample and get them agree to take it seriously. And so don't be eager to give these samples away. Make the customer earn it through their interest and their intent.
And Art, the next key thing is, of course, follow-up. That is my key. I think with Glimpse, it's going to be even more important than also we did with the juice and 365. I think it's going to be key, and there's going to be so many levels to follow-up, you guys. If you are sending those cards out, let's say, to a person in Texas, and she gets it and she hasn't used it, and if you don't pick up the phone and do follow-up, that card of the Glimpse samples is lost. And so, you're going to have to get over your fears and pick up the phone and know that you're changing people's lives. We're not just changing the adults, and we're not just changing the men, the ones that are shaving with it. What we're changing is the teenagers. Think of how humiliating it is for these teenagers to go to school where their body is not balanced and they've got a lot of problems with their skin. This is what we're changing, and so that follow-up is going to be so important at that time.
You guys, you've got to think big, okay? And I know that we're prisoners of our past thinking and prisoners of our past experiences. I've got somebody on the moderator line that has some noise. If you're on the moderator line, please hang up. I don't know what's happened there. So you've got to think big, guys. I'm telling you, it's a level playing field. And I've made this prediction that, in my view, that in 5 years' time, somebody starting now and building a Glimpse business will have the biggest check. So it's a level playing field. You can build this as big as you want. Unfortunately, you're a prisoner of your past thinking, and you're still thinking small. I know you're thinking small. I find myself thinking small. You've got to think big. People are going to be coming into this and making six-figure incomes in 12 months. Why not you? Why not you? So you've got to expand your thinking here. And I'm going to give you now what I think is the number one success secret of all time. And this is the key to your success. It's so simple. Actually, we could do a whole call just on this one slide and then get off the phone and Terry has actually mentioned it, the number one success secret of all time, and this is what you're not doing enough of, and this is what you must do if you want to change your financial future. What you have to do if you want to create your economic recovery is you've got to basically take advantage of the number one success secret. It's so simple. And you're just going to know it is the truth when I put it up here on the next slide. You've simply got to pick up the phone. That's what you have not done enough of. You didn't pick up the phone enough this week. You know it. You didn't talk to enough new people. You didn't call enough prospects back. You didn't follow up with your downline enough. This is what you have to do. And if you could just do this, I'm telling you, pick up the phone every single day for 12 months, you could pay off all of your bills. You could buy a new house. You could realize your dreams with a product like Glimpse. The vehicle is here, guys, so it's up to you. And so I know what's holding you back from picking up the phone. I know what's holding you back, but I can't talk about it. I don't have enough time to get into that today. Maybe a future call will get into what's holding you back. But that is the number one success secret right there, Terry. And I've been picking up the phone. You and I have been picking up the phone more in the last couple of weeks than we ever have here, and we're seeing the benefits in our business big time.
We really have, and it's amazing because, remember, to be the leader you want others to be, you have to show them how to do it. And so with Art and I picking up the phone, I really can feel our leaders picking up the phone. And Art, this week has just been incredible. We're just so proud of our leaders out there.
And if you haven't got the notice, yes, Beverly has the skincare demonstration up on Zango.tv. This is actually one of the things that we filmed with the DVD a few weeks ago. It's kind of funny to see how they put it all together. I'm telling you, this is a beautifully done 7-minute. This will be on the DVD, but now they've put it online because the DVD is not coming out until convention. It's going to be shown for the first time, I believe, on Friday morning at convention, put together by that Hollywood director. You'll get a feel when you watch this for the quality of this presentation. I'm telling you, it was 8 hours in there to make a 7-minute video. Basically, that's how much time goes into something like this. And so
brilliantly put together, though. I mean, Art was there and I wasn't. So for me to see it now for the first time, it's just been so brilliantly put together.
Okay, first time released. Here we go. We've got the ingredient release here. It's reluctant to come up on the screen, and they've done a phenomenal job of putting this together. I'm going to show you where you can download this. They wanted a very meticulous. Actually, there's going to be product pictures. There's going to be a glossary. But you'll see here, for instance, in the moisturizing cream, they have water, and then what is the source of that in brackets? So mangosteen infused water, mangosteen pericarp oil. We got meadow foam seed oil. They've got the Latin names or something here. We've got something based in olives. We got shea butter. We got some ingredients based on coconut palm and soybean and rice bran oil, avocado oil, some more olive and corn, sunflower, seed wax. I mean, we got seed butters, several different kinds of seed butters. There's the polymeric complex in there. So a phenomenal job. Jojoba oil, of course, and different products and where the natural source is from all of these things. Some of the names you wouldn't understand. So here's a fruit extract from bilberry. Of course, aloe is in there. Kelp. We've got some orange, and we've got also some algae extract down here. So phenomenal job putting these ingredients together. There'll be a whole glossary explaining all of this. And Beverly and her team is very, very meticulous. And so where are you going to find all of this stuff? This is from my-glimpse.com, and this is from the Order More Info page. And we're just waiting for it to come up. The computer's always running a little slow here. And so you'll see a list of documents here, and there are the health concern matrices that we showed already today. Glimpse ingredients right here, department store brands. You can download all of this stuff. This will be going up on the corporate website here shortly. These ingredients will be going out to in the VIP packs, from what I understand. So, and this is the systems, guys. Listen, we're almost out of time to pre-order. Look at this. It says last days for pre-order, October 26th. This is the small builder pack here. And we also have included in the builder packs these home party packs that include all of this stuff. Amazing group of things in here in the home party pack, all included. Incredible pricing on this. This one here, the $1,000 builder pack, that's like $200 less than wholesale, plus free regional, free ticket to convention. And so this is a big profit center. I don't want you to look at this as expenses, but as investments. And this is an investment in a profit margin. And so last chance to order, Terry. Now, we're going to give you a 24-hour blitz here, because here's the deal right now. We're going into a dark period when you cannot place orders with the company. The dark period starts on the 26th of October. So whatever orders are in by the 26th of October will now be shipped on October 31st, not November 4th. They're going to ship them next Friday. So anybody that orders by tomorrow, they will ship the product by next Friday. Other than that, you will not be able to order any product until you get to convention, or after convention, probably on the Monday. That's why I'm saying November the 10th, because they said after convention. So this is your last chance to get orders in, right, Terry?
Well, I just think this is so important, to get your fax machines running. For those of you that know your upline premiers, fax your orders to your premiers. They have reps. They can actually then fax them into their reps so that you know that your order has been done. Now, you can use the phone today and tomorrow, but today is the last day for fax or for phone orders, because the phone order people do not work on Sundays. Okay, so today is the last day, but you will be able to fax it. But, boy, I sure want my faxed orders into the reps so that you know that they're secure. But the other thing, Art, with convention coming, it doesn't stop there, you guys, because what our people are doing, what our group is doing, is they're actually literally going to, after the 26th, they're then going to, on Monday morning, this is our deal, they're then going to gather all orders, have their people fax them the orders, take orders down on a quick order sheet, whatever you want to do, and they are taking them with them to convention. Now, that is a key, because they'll take them to convention, they'll be put in, and then Monday morning they'll get mailed out. I mean, this is going to be powerful. For those of you that sit on the fence, that's exactly what you're going to get, is sitting on the fence. You're going to have to take an action step.
Okay.
And so Art's doing this blitz for the 24 hours for our team.
So this is what I'm telling you to do here, and of course you can just get off the phone like watching a movie, or after this call is over, why don't you pick up the phone? Why don't you call some people that you've already talked to before about this? Why don't you tell them that, listen, orders are closing tomorrow. This is the last chance to get Glimpse until after convention in November. We're taking people that if you order today, you'll get it shipped out on October 31st, right? And so, yes, some people that are already in the business that are highly interested, maybe they're ready to order a small builder pack. You've even got people in your downline that might be ready to order a big builder pack. But let's get some of these $200 orders for the complete system, or even a $150 order. Let's get some of the small orders. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to do a 24-hour blitz. Get on the phone and call people and ask them if they'd like to place their Glimpse order. I want you to have in front of you a Glimpse order form, a pre-launch order form. You can get that at my-glimpse.com. You can take the orders down yourself over the phone, or they can fax the orders to you. I want you to take the orders and be responsible for getting them into corporate. Now, if you've got the order, you can fax it into the company, or you can three-way them into corporate. In other words, don't rely on them. People procrastinate. I'm telling you, that's the main thing that we learned over the last 2 weeks. People like to sit on the fence, and they just need a bit of a push, and deadlines are what give you the reason to ask them to get off of the fence. How do you think we created $90,000 worth of orders for Glimpse already this month, with more orders coming in next month? How do you think Krista Gustafson has seen her dream of 100,000 volume come true because she's been picking up the phone? So 24-hour blitz. You've got till 5 o'clock today, Mountain Time, to call the company and place orders over the phone. You've got until midnight Mountain Time on Sunday night to fax orders into the company. And if you're going to fax in orders directly to the company, I definitely would keep an eye and make sure that they receive them. Better bet is for you leaders that are out there, just like Terry and I did, to take responsibility and get your team together here and say, listen, let's get you fax all the orders to me, and maybe we can get them to somebody's elite rep in our upline, or I'll gather them all here. And people have been faxing in. Even though they have fax machines of their own, we have been the conduit here for our team of people faxing in orders. And so there's a 24-hour blitz. You can create a lot of business. This is the last chance to get Glimpse before November the 10th. And you know what I'm excited about of all this activity? It means people get to experience it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead of time. And when they get this stuff on their face, they're going to be excited to talk about it. Plus, if you're getting the builder packs, you've got these sample strips, guys, that you can get out into people's hands carefully and get them to experience Glimpse. It's a phenomenal 24 hours you've got here if you take advantage of it. So let's move through here also. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Beverly has a conference line that she's put up with a Glimpse. You're going to have to write very quickly because we're almost out of time here. And if you can't write this down, 605-475-6452. There's an access code, and that's a complete, in-depth phone presentation. I can't stay on that slide long enough for you guys probably to write that down. But if you can't and you haven't seen this from any place, you can email it to us, and we'll forward this out to you. Glimpse, live and on tour. Gosh, now listen, we have a Glimpse live tour coming up right after convention. There's a list of 12 cities here. We're going to be sending this out on the weekend. Who do you know in San Diego? Who do you know in San Francisco? Who do you know in Seattle? Who do you know in Houston? And on Friday night at convention, we're going to show you Friday evening, November 7th, at the world's largest opportunity meeting. We're going to show you what's coming to a city near you. I want you all to mark your calendars here. Think about, especially if you're not coming to convention, you've got to come to one of these events and bring some people with you. And so that's a huge thing. They haven't put much information out, but we got Gary and Beverly Hollister, Dr. Templeman, John Godsick, Misha Hughes, plus all hosted by 500K premieres. And big news, the author of Not Just a Pretty Face, Stacy Malkin, is coming to convention. You get to hear her if you come there too. And so, yes, we have our 6th annual convention coming up. There's still time to register. If you can see the vision of a 6-figure income here or a substantial $1,000 or $2,000 a month, then this is something you don't want to miss. We've got Carl Lewis talking. Guess who? Me. I'm talking on Friday morning. I'm a little freaked out but excited. I've got a great thing to talk to you about there that I think Terry is going to be fantastic. You get to meet all of the founders. You get to meet the sidelines. We got the Glimpse opportunity meeting. We got Glimpse breakouts in the afternoon with Beverly. We're going to see the DVD. We got a great keynote speaker on the Sunday. We have Les Brown and a lot of the speakers at OneTeamTraining.com. Also, Sherman has his Learn to Earn event. So this is the big event of the year. And you've got to be the leader that you want others to follow. If you want people to go to convention, you must first commit. You can't expect your downline or your contacts to outcommit you. You've got to be the leader. There's still a few days left to register for this. Terry, anything else you want to add? I know we are trying to run overtime here.
No, I'm just so excited with Glimpse and everything. I mean, it's all going to be about balance, you guys. Our juice is our flag product. We will always lead with the juice as well. I know at our Glimpse gatherings, we're going to have the juice there and 365. I think one leads into the other. Remember, we're rebalancing the body from the inside out and from the outside in. And thank you all for being on the webinar this morning. See you at convention.